Hey everyone, this is Dahlia, and in case you are new around here, what we do is help young professionals to get freedom in their careers via mission-driven type of work and international jobs. So, right now, as you can see, I am in a really beautiful place. I'm in the mountains of Rwanda, and this whole scenery is really inspiring me, making me just feel like starting new projects, doing new things, and you know, making an impact on the world. And it also made me think about one of the problems that a lot of people come to me with, which is that they have too many ideas, or they have a few different ideas and they don't know which one to choose. And I also have a client right now who is just an ideas generator kind of a person, where she's constantly having all of these different ideas, all of these different things that she thinks she would like to do, but it is almost overwhelming sometimes, where she's not sure which to go for, and obviously you can't put your energy and focus everywhere, right? So I thought this would be something really important to talk about, because I do see this very often, where a lot of young people these days have tons and tons of ideas, but then what happens is time goes on and none of those ideas are becoming reality, and meanwhile they're still stuck in whatever job they're in, thinking, oh, I just have to get my idea going, whether that's as a business or as a career path, and finding a job that will actually match the idea that they have in terms of their passion and everything that they want to do. So let me know if you are there in the comments, and let me know if too many ideas is an issue for you, and what are the different ideas that you are wrestling with or thinking about. What has been, you know, what are some of the things that have come to mind, and what is your problem in terms of actually turning that into your career, into your life's work, into your contribution. Because in this day and age, ideas are not the problem. Okay, ideas are not the problem. I know, we all like to think that we're so special with all our ideas, and we came up with them, and we want to guard them and not let anyone else hear about them. However, in this day and age, ideas are not the problem. We all have access to the internet. We can see what everyone else is doing, and we're constantly being bombarded with ideas, constantly. And for those of you who have been scrolling through your Facebook feeds, I'm sure you have seen lots of ideas, right? Lots and lots of other people doing different things, saying, oh, I just made 7 figures doing whatever, and you should do it too. And then you click there, and all of a sudden you're going, well, maybe this is the idea I should follow. Maybe that's the right career path for me, or the right way for me to make my passive income. And someone else is promising something else, and then you might have a friend doing something and they seem pretty happy, and you go, well, maybe that's what I should be doing. And it is so easy to be pulled in a million different directions these days. And I think it was hard enough in the past to figure out what it is that you're meant to do, but these days we are so full of distractions that it's so easy to just get pulled into a certain direction, and just that ending up being your life, right? And one thing that I see a lot as well is, with all of these promises of making money online, making passive incomes, I see a lot of people trying to copy someone else and ending up a failure, because they're just trying to copy. It was never the right thing for them to begin with. It doesn't mean that someone else, that it's a scam, that they're not actually making 7 figures and being successful. They probably are completely successful, but just because someone else is successful at something does not mean it's going to work for you. And a good example of this is one of my clients, Amy. So for example, Amy, when she started off working with me, she wasn't saying, oh, I just want to make a passive income, or oh, I just want to start a business. She didn't know what she wanted to do. She didn't have much experience. But when we worked together, we realized what her strengths were, what her skill set was, what was the impact she wanted to make. And now she has a business. Like, I'm sure she has plenty of friends who are very jealous of her life. I know her brother told her, this can't be a real job, right? You look like you're having too much fun. So she's crafted the perfect life for herself. And I'm sure a lot of people are jealous of her. But if one of her friends decides to just copy her and copy her business model, is it going to work? No, because it was crafted perfectly for her and her skill set and her passion and the contribution that she wanted to make. And just because someone else is successful at something doesn't mean you will be successful as well. So you want to be really, really careful with that. And I think the first step, like if you have a lot of ideas and you're looking back and you're realizing that nothing's really happened with them, the very first step is to realize that ideas are nothing without action, without investment. They need to be incubated. So there is a process for that incubation, to test them out, to see where it's going to lead, and to make it into an actual career path, right? And when I say career path, either as a business or as that dream job that's going to match all of your goals, personal and professional. So what I see is that people don't realize there's this incubation that needs to happen. There's this investment that needs to happen. And so they're constantly jumping from one shiny object to the next. They're constantly looking for the one idea that's going to save them. And there's no idea that's going to save you. It all happens with the process. So any success from any idea doesn't come from the idea itself. It comes from the process of investing in that idea, incubating it, and just going step by step by step. And when you put all those steps together, you follow the process, that's where you can achieve these amazing successes that everyone else is looking at you and going, how on earth did you do that? But there's definitely a process to follow. It's not a magic, here's the idea that's going to make you rich, or here's the idea that's going to give you all this spare time, or here's the idea that's going to let you, I'm sure you guys have seen ads like this, or people on Instagram who seem to just pose and travel, and it's not one idea that's going to make that happen. It's really following the process. And what happens is that most people are not willing to invest in a process. Most people are not willing to invest in their ideas. It's easier to just get ideas and go, oh, I have ideas, one day I will do something with them. Or, we get these ideas and we tell ourselves, oh yeah, I should look into that, or I should think about that. But we don't actually, in that moment, like it's really a moment of truth. When you get hit by that inspiration, when you get hit by those ideas, it is a moment of truth, and you need to stop and recognize, hey, what am I going to do with this idea? What am I going to do with this inspiration? Am I going to just think about it later? Or am I going to invest in it right now, take action on it right now, start that incubation process right now? Sometimes, and no, that doesn't mean that this is going to be your one idea that's going to be your dream career, but you need to understand the process in place and follow that process so that you are able to sort of push aside the ideas that are not right for you, or that just would not match the market, are not going to be a viable option for you, and actually recognize the ones that are viable options. So I get people all the time who just want to toss their ideas around with me, and they say, so which one of these is going to work? And nobody's going to be able to tell you which one is going to work until you go through the process. And of course, everyone wants to skip the process with everything, right? Because it requires an investment. It requires all of that time and energy. And everyone wants to skip what they can skip. But I will tell you that skipping the process is the worst thing you can do, because what ends up happening when you skip the process is, this is going to sound bad, but it's true, you skip your life. So this is where people look back 5 years later, 10 years later, and they're like, oh, I had all of these ideas. I always thought that I would do something with them, and I have not. And I'm still stuck in the same job or in a similar kind of line of work that I always thought I would be leaving as soon as I got the right idea to get out of it, And so really, skip the process, skip your life. Don't let that happen to you. Start incubating those ideas, start following the process so that you can actually, in 5 years' time, be super successful, like living a life that you never even dreamed you were going to be living. I can tell you I never dreamed I would be here right now, and I'm looking forward to, next couple of months, next couple of years, where am I going to be? Who am I going to be with? What am I going to be doing? Like, all of these kinds of possibilities. And I know that unfortunately a lot of people are the time goes on and they're still in the same place. And this is why I think it's so important for us to discuss this. It's because they get these ideas, they get these inspirations, they have these hopes and dreams, and they don't do anything with them. They just hope for the best. And of course, nobody thinks they're going to be that person. Everyone thinks they're going to be different and their dreams are going to come true. But then they just keep doing like what the average person does, right? Which is going through the motions, waiting for the weekend, putting in their hours, staying busy, chasing after shiny objects, scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, sort of, you know, getting that, getting all of those little bits of inspiration here and there, different ideas, pretty colors, but not actually investing in their mission and in the contribution that they want to make. And I don't want that to happen to any of you guys who are here, because I know so many of you. I mean, I've talked to a lot of you guys, and you have really beautiful ideas and really great contribution that you want to make. I think one of the great things about our group is that those of you who are here because you want to contribute, you want to make an impact, you don't just want to live your life going through the motions. And so it's really a tragedy for that impact not to be made just because you had too much inspiration, too many ideas, and you didn't know what the process was to actually be able to organize those things and make your contribution happen. And so the other client I had that sort of fell into this too many ideas mode, it was someone who was very successful in his job, but had a lot of business ideas and always thought he would start a business and had a ton of potential opportunities and, you know, things he was thinking about. But then years and years down the line, he realized, oh, none of them have actually happened, just like I was telling you before. So this is where you need to realize, on the one hand, like the very first step, there's getting clear on what you want. And that's what happened with Amy, right? Where she got very clear on herself, what she had to offer, what was her passion, and what was her skill set, right? So stop following other people. You need to follow the process so that you are clear on what is right for you. But then, of course, the next part of the equation is knowing what the market wants, because it's all nice to follow your passion, do what you love. But if it's not something that other people need or want, obviously nobody's going to hire you to do that thing, or nobody's going to pay you if it's a business concept, right? So these two things are, it's 50%, 50%. Both are super important. Don't listen to people who just tell you follow your passion, do what you love, because that's just 50%. And also don't follow people who say, hey, just be realistic, just, you know, this place is hiring, just go there, right? It's really important to be clear on what is right for you, both personally and professionally. You need both of these things to fit together so that you can achieve the life and the contribution that you want. So remember that when you have all these ideas, you've got to take action on them. You have to invest in them. And so I know a lot of the time that is easier said than done, because you don't know what action to take. You might have this idea, but you don't actually know what to do with it. And so the best advice I can give you right now is, yes, to book a career roadmap session. That is one very easy action that you can take in this moment that will be the best action you've taken towards making your ideas a reality this year. So these are these 1 hour long sessions that we do with our coaches. They are free. It's to help you guys out. It's to help you get that clarity in terms of, you know, you can tell us all your ideas, we can discuss what the issues are, what your obstacles are, and we're going to get clear on what kind of a game plan are you going to need if you want to get clear on which of those ideas you actually want to pursue, and also how to make what you really want, like that higher version of yourself, that higher vision that you have for your career, how you can actually make that a reality. So the link for that is accelerateyourambitions.com/apply, and that's going to take you directly to our calendar. So grab whatever slot works for you, and then after that there's an application form. Just fill that out really quickly so that we can get background on who you are. Let us know what your different ideas are. So if you're some of those people, like the client I have right now just has a lot of ideas, write down some of the ideas in that questionnaire so we can start already brainstorming with you and getting a sense of where you're at and where you want to go, and then we'll be able to help you better as well on the call. And then we'll see if you're the kind of candidate who qualifies for the program, where we actually show you the process, we walk you through how to turn those ideas into a career path, like we did with Amy or like we did with Chan, where we take you from where you are right now into actually creating the career that you want, so that people can also start telling you, wow, what have you changed? Why are you so happy? How did you start a business? How come you're doing what you love? You look like you're having way too much fun with your job. What's happening? That's what I want for each and every one of you. I don't want you guys to have this inspiration, have these ideas, and have those things fizzle out just because you didn't know what the process was and you didn't know how to incubate them. You didn't know how to turn that into a viable career path. Okay, that's not what we want. And for all of you guys here, I know that you want to make a contribution. You want to actually accomplish all the things that most people talk about, but unfortunately end up not achieving. And so, you know, make sure that you're not just following what the average person is doing, because the average person is not doing that much, unfortunately. So don't be average, start doing things differently than other people. Start, when you get those moments of inspiration, recognize it, value it, take some kind of action towards it. I'll see you guys on the Career Roadmap sessions. I will see you in the next video. Let me know your comments, what ideas you have, anything else you want to share with us. Feel free to bounce those ideas off us, off me and the rest of the other people in the group in the comments, and we will speak soon. Bye, guys.